Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your April 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find all sorts of goodies, including a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. But before you do that, I would like to remind you that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. So please do use your discernment and take only what resonates with you and leave the rest. So I also want to share with you that as I was coming in to prepare for your reading, I got this 222, and I was seeing things within the decks that I've been shuffling around essentially stepping into your power. Okay, that was a big message that I was getting. So I do feel like with the energies that are coming in for you, there is this element of making the choice to stand in your power and finding balance in your life. Okay. I also would like to share with you that in this reading, I feel like the information that's going to come through for you is likely going to be, what is the word, heightened, if you will, because of the solar eclipse that's taking place and Mercury retrograde immediately after. All right. So I do feel like there's something about this energy that I feel like is going to be putting a lot of power behind whatever's coming up. In addition to that, this solar eclipse energy has a very karmic, new beginning type of energy to it. And with Mercury retrograde following immediately after, it's really not a surprise that this information, or rather that the energy, would be presenting in that way. So let's dive in. I am incredibly excited to be reading for you and want to thank you so much for being here with me. Let's see what's going on for you. We are going to be looking at what you can do to align with your highest timeline and Christ consciousness, what's helping you to evolve, what's limiting your soul's evolution, and also taking a look at some advice, encouragement, or guidance for you. All right, so please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what can Scorpio do to align with their highest timeline, please? Oh, that was fast. Sorry, I hope that wasn't loud. That definitely hit my cup. Okay, what's helping Scorpio to evolve, please? Okay, I like that you're getting, which way would you like me to? Okay. I like that you're getting just these one cards, Scorpio. That tells me that your message is going to be very direct and straight to the point, which I really enjoy. I love when that happens. What's limiting your evolution? What is limiting Scorpio's evolution, please? What is limiting Scorpio's evolution? Wow. I feel, okay, here's the thing. I'm just getting this energy and I feel like you need to say something. I feel like you may be a little bit all over the place and that could be limiting you. That was really interesting. I just had a piece of paper full. Um, yeah, I feel like, yeah, it feels to me like kind of all over, because the cards weren't like this previously. So it tells me that you could kind of be all over the place, maybe very, very up and down even. Okay. What is limiting Scorpio's evolution, please? There it is. Thank you. Can we please have some advice, encouragement, or guidance for Scorpio? Okay. Thank you, angels. All right, let's jump in. So, what you can do to align with your highest timeline or Christ consciousness, you do have your inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, and laying foundations. So, this is so incredibly fascinating to me, Scorpio, because in the beginning, I was talking about how I got this message of being, standing in your power, essentially, creating balance, right? Making decisions that put you in the space of feeling empowered. And I feel like this is what this is about. I feel like this is what you can do to align with your highest timeline, is to step into your power, step into a place of strength and security, right? And this may require you to address that base or root chakra, which is typically things that, not always, but it's typically things that are very deep seated, right? So these could be things from your childhood. These could be things that you know, have tucked away in a box, if you will, and have not wanted to open up, right? Oftentimes these are things around trauma, right? Pain, trauma, suffering, these sorts of things. And so I feel like you're being asked to address those things and then to step into a place of strength and security. And oftentimes, as we heal these things that create fear within us, or anger, or, you know, have, uh, or that have caused us trauma or pain or suffering, right? As we heal those things, as we feel more whole, oftentimes we do feel stronger. We do feel more secure, especially in ourselves, okay? And I feel like this is important for you, laying foundation, or rather, it's important for you in regards to laying foundations. And I feel like aligning with your highest timeline currently is, or rather, the way that you can do that is by laying these very strong foundations, getting back to who you are and being able to stand in your power, right? Because I feel like some of these things that you've been carrying with you, you've been giving your power away to them. You've been succumbing to them. For some of you, I feel like this has even paralyzed you in a sense, right? It's prevented you from moving forward. So I feel like that's what's going to be most helpful for you. And when we look at Christ consciousness in this regard, right? I feel like there's something here about when you are able to develop your own strength and feel secure in yourself, you're able to give love and open up to people much more easily. Okay? Because you don't have this fear of people seeing you, like the real you, or you know, experiencing you. That fear is a little less, right? And sometimes it's a lot less. Okay? Especially when it comes to, I feel like, especially when it comes to fear of like not being enough or not being good enough, and those sorts of things can create jealousy, possessiveness, and those sorts of things, paranoia. Even you can even self-sabotage because you're afraid of, you know, someone leaving you or something like that. So I feel like this is what's going to be helpful for you in aligning with your highest timeline and Christ consciousness, because Christ consciousness is essentially having this big open heart. And I'm not saying that you don't have an open heart, Scorpio. I'm not saying that you don't love or feel or aren't passionate or anything like that. But what I'm saying is when you shut down to yourself, you shut down to others as well, right? We don't realize when we build a wall up around ourselves, we also build a wall between ourselves and other people. And if you are keeping things hidden, whether it be from yourself or others, you know, or both, then that's not truth. That's not purity. Okay? That's not vulnerability. And Christ consciousness, or the Christ impulse, ascending and spiritualizing, requires us to do that, to have an open heart, to purify our heart, to be vulnerable and share ourselves with others, share our light with others, right? To give love very, very openly and to receive it openly as well. So, what could be helping you to evolve? You do have here the bully in the upright, or the light attribute position, highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you to confront the inner fears that bully you. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I do feel like this solar eclipse energy, this Mercury retrograde energy, is bringing to the forefront of your experience um, these fears, right? Again, the fear of not being enough, of, you know, not wanting people to see you or experience you. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes that can cause us, our own fears can cause us to become self-destructive, vindictive, even jealous, clingy, you know, these possessive. And these are Scorpio traits that can occur if you're out of balance, right? So I feel like these things are being highlighted to you so that you can remedy them, so that you can see them and confront them and move past them, creating firm foundations in who you are and taking your power back from them, like I was saying in the beginning, right? Because those inner fears will bully you. Also, here you have highlights your tendency to intimidate others, and I feel like this is oftentimes when, how do I say this? Oftentimes when we are holding things within, we project that onto other people. Right. So if our fears are bullying us and we feel powerless, then oftentimes we um will project that onto other people and try to make other people feel powerless because we feel that way ourselves. Right? So these things could be coming up to show you this so that you can evolve, so that you can move away from them and grow and mature out of them. Right? And actually I just looked up and saw 1111. So you may be seeing that number along with 222 as confirmation for you, or you may have already been seeing this number. And I feel like that 1111, I feel like, is because I feel like there are epiphanies dropping into your field. Whether or not you are accepting them in that way, I'm not sure. Of course, you have free will, so you can completely ignore it. But I feel like there are things that are dropping into your field that's like flipping the light switch, or have the potential to do that if you allow yourself to see them. So what is limiting your evolution here? Okay, we have the poet in the upright or light attribute position, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. So yeah, it's interesting to me, this energy, because I feel like what's actually limiting you is not being full on truthful. Right. As if you can see this woman here, and it doesn't matter whatever um your gender is, okay, or your sex is, either male or female. So what's interesting about both of these cards is if you can see here the bully, there's like this air, right? Kind of like being full of air, blown out here. And then with the poet, if I can get it, the glare, I don't know if you can see it, but there are like these little wispies coming out of her mouth, followed by those doves. And what's interesting here is those doves are a symbol of purity, right? They're also a symbol of peace. So grace even, right? And I feel like there's something here about speaking very purely, very truthfully, very honestly, and bringing peace, right? It's interesting. It feels to me like, how would you say, like, because this again, this says expresses soul insights in symbolic language, so it's like, in a way, it's like not being direct or not being incredibly transparent, but kind of being a bit like riddle, like a riddle, right. Not opening up fully, and I feel like that could be preventing you from actually evolving. It's very fascinating to me. I don't like, that's an interesting one for sure. Let me just see if I'm picking up anything else here. I also feel like you may not express your love fully, right? Because I'm being very drawn to these. There's little hearts here, if you can see them. And so I feel like there's an element here of not fully or yeah, not fully or transparently expressing your love. Well, you know, of whatever it is. Maybe it's the love of certain people or certain things or what have you, but I feel like there's an element here of not fully expressing your love, and that could also be holding you back. Okay. So advice, encouragement, or guidance for you from the angels, Scorpio. You do have your Earth Angel. Thank you, angels, for inspiring me to be more like you. Now, what's interesting about this, Scorpio, is I do feel like you have how would you say, there's a couple of things coming through. One being, like, I feel like there's advice here or encouragement for you to actually be more, or how would you say this? To allow yourself to be more angelic in the sense of like being open, giving and receiving love, um, you know, purifying your soul, that sort of thing, helping others. And I'm not saying that you aren't already doing these things, but to some extent, but it feels to me like I said, there feels like there's a wall up, right? And you have Earth Angel with this inner Earth. So I feel like it's really grounding into that, right? Like really establishing that strength in who you are and your heart and what you have to offer, right? Essentially taking your power back, understanding that you have a lot to give is what I'm hearing here. Like you are here for a reason, right? You are here because you have something to give or offer to the planet. And if we're talking about Christ consciousness here and aligning with Christ consciousness, it is like ultimately to be of service is a big part of why we're here, right? So I feel like that's a big one for you. I also feel like there are literally angels around you who are trying to nudge you along your path, right? Who are trying to encourage you to move this way or that, and potentially trying to help you ground as well, right? Like trying to help you to ground your energy, ground your emotions. Um, it's very interesting, the things that are coming through here currently. But I do feel like you have support, right? You do have angels around you that are trying to help you and trying to inspire you to take certain actions or make certain moves or do certain things. And I do feel like for some of you, yeah, I just got the word stubborn. You may be a bit stubborn and are like, okay, like go away, type of thing. Or, when maybe you get this intuitive feeling to speak and then you shush it and you close your mouth, right? I feel like you do have angels around you that are trying to inspire you should you allow yourself to be open to receiving them. We also have here for you the miracle of prayer, Archangel Sandalphon. Thank you, Sandalphon, for delivering my prayers to heaven. So, if you're wondering if it's interesting to me because I feel like for some of you, you may have actually said prayers and wonder, like, is there anybody actually listening? Is there anything there that's actually hearing me? And I feel like this is coming up for you as confirmation. It's really interesting, this, because I don't know that I've actually had that come through thus far in these readings. So it's really fascinating to me that this would show up in this way to say, hey, I hear you. I also want to say that I feel like the angels are speaking to you through music as well. Okay. I feel like they're speaking to you through music as well. Also could be dropping creative ideas into your field. Okay. So, let's say you're just minding your business and all of a sudden some songs drop into your head or a certain part of a song drops into your head, I would be paying attention to those because those could be messages from your angels, from Archangel Sandalphon, letting you know certain things, right? And could even be confirming that your prayers are heard in heaven. You have here as well, Archangel Metatron, clear your vibes. Thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. Yeah, I feel like this is really about you. Again, kind of, how would you say, letting go of the things that aren't serving you, right? Releasing yourself from those fears, okay? Clearing your energy of those things, especially your fear to be who you are. But I also feel like this is the Archangel Metatron, I feel like, is helping you to find that life force within yourself again. Okay, to clear yourself from these fears, and these things that have been essentially intimidating you or kind of paralyzing you or putting you at a pause, and is trying to reconnect you with your life force, with the things that really make you feel empowered and strong and valuable, right? So this is really quite beautiful, Scorpio. I love this for you. Very direct. You and Aries are um, the two tarot scopes that have been very direct for this month. And I think it's incredible because I feel like, that direct, straight to the point is like, hey, here's what you got to work on. Go do the thing, you know? And so I pray that this is helpful for you in some way, shape, or form as you navigate these energies, which can be incredibly tumultuous, but hopefully with this information you have, it will be just a bit easier. I would like to thank you so very much for being here, sharing your time, your energy, your attention, and of course, your company with me. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you. If something in this reading has resonated for you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow. It tells YouTube that there may be something for someone else here to see, and they push this content out. So thank you so very much for doing those things. I truly do appreciate it. I pray that you have an incredible month. You're able to find your power and are able to shine your beautiful, magnificent light, sharing it with the world, because God knows we need all of the beautiful light we can get. So I truly do hope that you are able to do that as you move forward in your journey and as you align with your highest timeline. Take care of your incredible, magnificent, marvelous soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.